Good day, Lionhearts. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion. How are you all doing today? I hope you said well. I'm in the mood to get out of the house and do a lot of stuff, so the best vlog for that I found to be is the filming locations. Today is one of those that will take us pretty much all over, from the south to the west to the northeast. Every part of Los Angeles we're going to be hitting to do this one. This was a late 80s classic. I thought it was a classic. I always loved it. It's Patrick Dempsey's Loverboy. You get cameos by the great Carrie Fisher, Kirstie Alley, Vic Tayback. All kinds of people are in this. Kate Jackson. Now, I wanted to do this one, and I haven't done it up until now because I hate buying movies on DVD. I like to purchase the stream, and I could not find this movie anywhere to be streamed, so I finally had to break down, buy it on DVD. When I rewatched it, I figured out why I think it's not streamable. I think it's probably considered pretty unpolitically correct now. A running theme through this movie is that this kid, Randy Bodick, played by Patrick Dempsey, he's basically screwed his way out of college and he wants to go back to be with his girlfriend. So he starts working a job at a pizza parlor to earn money to go back, and in between this time, as he's doing this, he ends up accidentally becoming a gigolo. Now, I don't think that's why this is not streamable. I think it's because the ulterior part of the storyline is that Randy's dad mistakenly, almost like a Three's Company thing, thinks that Randy is gay and has, throughout the whole movie, almost an emotional breakdown throughout the movie, thinking that his son is now gay. So I think that is probably why. Very unpolitically correct, but the movie is funny. It's meant to be funny. And there's a lot of great cameo appearances, so we're going to go today and see as many of the locations that still exist as we can and kind of match them up. So, Daze with Jordan the Lion, doing Loverboy filming locations. It begins right now, and today is going to be a special Patreon sunglass vlog. And here's my DVD copy. So, Paula Gable Finnegan, I figured since we're doing a 80s vlog, I'll give you some Macho Man Randy Savage sunglasses for your vlog. Let's do it. All right, so our first stop of the day is in West Hollywood of Los Angeles, and it is on Melrose Avenue. So to kind of fill you in on what happened here in the movie, Randy was at college. He has a girlfriend that lives with him. He's afraid to tell his dad because he thinks his dad will freak out, especially because his grades are terrible. Randy has basically screwed his way out of college. He's 20 years old. His dad sees his grades and says he doesn't want to send him back to school. Randy says, "No worries, I'll just start my real life." And he gets a job at the Senior Pizza, and he's out on his first delivery right here. So we see the delivery truck come driving up this street. This is Huntley, and everything has pretty much changed. All the buildings on all the corners that you can match up have all been reconfigured or broken down and rebuilt. But you see the delivery truck coming up here, and he ends up stopping right here, and I could tell because they used to have a street sign right there that said Huntley Drive. Now they've moved it to going across here. But while he's waiting at this intersection, he's looking at this crosswalk right here, and he sees a beautiful redhead with like a green hat walking across this intersection, and she stops in the middle of it to fix her shoe. And she looks back at him and sees him with his costume mustache and smiles at him, and then she walks off. So Randy decides to immediately make a right here. So we see the delivery vehicle make the turn right there, and he pulls up right in front of that store, or the store that used to be there, and goes on inside. Now you can see that the entrance was originally right here is where he goes in, because now the entrance is over here. We get a camera shot of him from inside the store. It's looking out. He's parked right here in a red zone, which it is still a red zone. He's parked in that red zone, and he starts taking off his costume. He has that that Senior Pizza costume on. He starts taking it all off because he has his regular clothes underneath, and he strips them all down right here, throws them in the truck, and goes on inside. Now, this is now like a lamp store, But at the time it was a clothing store, and he goes in and he pretends to be shopping and sees the woman that he saw crossing the street, and he goes up to her and says, "Hey, do you want to go out sometime?" And she looks at him and she's like, "Huh? You must be kidding." And he says, "Well, you smiled at me outside in the crosswalk. You smiled at me. I was in the truck." And she goes, "The guy in the truck had a mustache. You're just a boy. I don't date boys." And so a woman working in the store overhears him and starts coming over talking to him, saying, "Oh, don't feel bad. You shouldn't let her get to you. She's just being snobby." And she kind of lifts his spirits and starts putting a jacket, like a suit jacket, on him to try out. And we eventually see this woman a little bit later on in the movie, not too much later, but we find out that she was actually the owner of this store. Because as he's in here trying on the suit jacket, she invites him out to cappuccino, and then he notices a cop is about to ticket his car, so he goes running out and never gets to end up swapping information with her. The woman that he met here, Alex, kind of ends up making this whole scenario of this movie happen. Some appropriate art, especially for this vlog. So let's head off to our next location. And the next location's about 30 minutes away. Welcome to Venice. As you saw, we are in Venice for our next location. This is right next door, this art. I thought I would show it to you. It's very telling of our area. Got a little cupcake there. An F+ on the homework up there, the paper airplane. And then we've got a Smurf fishing off the yellow submarine. There we've got the Simpsons pink donut with the radioactive fish. And I just noticed that our Smurf has a lot of tats. Interesting. And there's even a yellow brick road. So right over here on Lincoln Boulevard, this was once Signor Pizza, home of the Pizza Loco. In the movie, this is where Randy gets his job, and this is where his whole life changes, basically. This is where they start fielding all those phone calls for the pizza with extra anchovies. And every time that's ordered, that's like code for Randy to go and make love to someone. So he's done it first for Alex, and then he ends up getting calls from other people here, other orders, because Alex passed around his phone number for his quote-unquote services so that he could make money to go back to school. So we see quite a few scenes here, one in fact being right out here out back, where this has changed a little bit, but back here was where originally they would have had like another wooden gate here, and that's where he comes back. He always leaves from here, and his delivery van is always either parked right here or in the spot next to it. But we see him back here, and his friend Sal that works here saying, "Man, you've got calls coming in. You've got 3 motels in the valley. You're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna be able to go back to school." And Randy's going, "I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I can't be with random women." He's like, "Face it, you know, you're gonna be the love doctor of Beverly Hills." He goes, "I don't want to be the love doctor of anything. Call them back and cancel." He goes, "I can't. They didn't leave phone numbers. They just left addresses." So we see him back here, and then later on in the movie, once he has went off to make his very last call of the whole movie, he's basically made enough money to where he doesn't have to do this anymore. He goes to a motel, and his mom who was in the room, so he sneaks out of the room, comes back here and drives the delivery car right back up here, parks it right here, and then hops out and tells the Italian foreign exchange student who's like the Casanova, speaking of Brando, he's over here talking to a woman in like a car, and Randy says, "You got to go to this hotel, this motel, and deliver this pizza and tell her, you know, that you just can't do it, whatever, that you can't be with her." And so then we see quite a few scenes here, actually right at the very end, once his girlfriend has come. Sorry, the shade is pretty intense here, but once his girlfriend has come to town because Randy's parents are having their wedding anniversary party, she surprises him, comes here, and he and Jory, the guy who's trying to move in on his girl, end up coming here and walking through this parking lot to fight back here. Now simultaneously, while that happens, while they're walking out here to have the fight, literally right beside the delivery van that's parked right here, all of a sudden the three angry husbands show up, and they're looking for the delivery guy because they want to beat him up. And when they come out to this spot, they see Randy, and the big bodybuilder guy grabs him and gets ready to punch him, but then Vic Tayback says, "No, I know his father. He's gay. He's not the guy we're looking for." And so then they attacked the other guy over here and beat him to a bloody pulp. And we would have seen the guys beating up that kid right here, and right around the corner of this building, Randy and his girlfriend have taken off, and they're standing around the corner, like right there, watching the fight and everything from there. Then they end up, after the guys take that kid and Vic Tayback's car, Mel from Alice, his car's parked right over here. They throw the kid in the back of the trunk, and when they go to take off, Randy and his girlfriend get in the back of this car and drive off. Now they do use the interiors of this restaurant for the movie. There's quite a bit in there, but because we have the shutdown and everything, restaurants here can't allow anyone indoors. They're even doing pickup where they come out to you or take your order out front. But we'll see what we can see, because the front we see them go in and out of, and maybe they'll let us get a little peek inside the door up here. So here we go. It's changed quite a bit, but they said I could take some photos. The original island that they take all the orders would have been right there where his girlfriend sits at the counter eating her food, and Jory is there, and that's where she finds out that Randy's basically a gigolo. Would have been right there. And then when the bodybuilder goes in to grab Randy and beat him up, he would have grabbed him right here from the counter and drug him through the back. And you see that door back there? The back into the kitchen, that's where we always see Randy leave when he has a delivery. So they'd throw the pizza down there and he'd run out that door. Pretty cool. I love this movie. I know it's not politically correct because they call an Asian woman an Oriental in here, and then like I said, the whole kind of breakdown because he thinks his son's gay, but it's still a really funny movie. So there we go. That would have been Senior Pizza in the movie. And don't get me wrong, I love Marlon Brando, but I think you ought to have a mural of Patrick Dempsey here instead, since he filmed the movie here. Or at least have a prop of the Senior Pizza delivery van out here, because it's pretty cool. They have a vehicle out here anyway, but would be better if they had the Senior Pizza. So we're gonna go ahead and leave Venice now, and we're gonna head out quite a drive, probably an hour at least, out to Oxnard, where supposedly Ronnie is making his unbeknownst delivery to Alex. And she ordered one pizza to go to Beverly Hills, and then he has a whole pile of pizzas after that that are supposed to go to Costa Mesa. Nope, wasn't an hour drive. It was about an hour and 20 minutes, and we're still not there. But it'll be quite a drive for this scene. It was supposed to be Beverly Hills, but it wasn't. So this is the hotel that Randy makes his delivery to. That extra anchovies. We see the delivery van come pulling up and around right into the valet area. Now this is kind of a big deal because when he goes to deliver the pizza, inside it turns out to be Alex, the girl that was working in the store, the clothing store, putting the jacket on him and everything, and he didn't have a chance to go have cappuccino with her. She is actually the owner of the store, so his car, he would have pulled his car up right here to valet it. Then he goes inside, and this is where he ends up sleeping with her. The decor has changed dramatically, but we see him walking down this very hallway. There used to be a sofa here, and it was much more 80s kind of Santa Barbara style decor at the time, but he's walking down here to deliver that pizza to her room. Here's the pool area, and we see Ronnie walking past this to deliver the pizza up to the room. And then after he delivers the pizza, we see him walking along here, and he just jumps right into the pool with all of his clothes on. I'm not gonna get too close to the pool because there are people actually swimming in the pool and I wanna respect their privacy on this. Very festive inside here. So when he goes to make his delivery, she tells him that she owns the store. He sleeps with her, they end up getting along, and then he says, Alex, I have to tell you, I don't love you. Like, I have a girlfriend, Jenny, back at school and trying to get back to school, so that's why I'm working this pizza job. So she ends up giving him $200 towards his education, and then gives out his phone number, or the phone number to the pizza place, to all of her girlfriends, and tells them every time they order to ask for extra anchovies. All right, gang, off to our next two locations, and they actually happen to be on the same street right off of Old Topanga Canyon Road, so we got another 45-minute drive ahead of us. Yeah, they definitely did not keep the filming locations too close together. I mean, they didn't go out of state or anything, but they're not very close together, that's for sure. Okay, we have encountered a problem. So our problem is that our next two houses, I didn't know, turned out to be in a gated community. Bummer, can't get any access. So what I was gonna show you was Randy's house. You don't really see that much of the outside. You see mainly his front door. When the Italian exchange student brings the suit jacket and everything that Alex sends to the pizza parlor, this guy brings it out and drops it off at Randy's house. Randy's dad is inside and overhears it, and when he comes back in, asks him about the suit jacket and everything, and he says, oh, he bought it, and it doesn't fit, so he's giving it to me. And he goes, well, his dad goes, it looks new to me. Randy goes, well, he bought it and it was too small, so yeah, it was on sale, he couldn't take it back. So that's when his dad finds the note from Alex, thinking that that guy is Alex. And then the very next house I was gonna show you was the house that Randy goes to make his delivery, and he thinks that it's an extra anchovy order for his normal services, but when he gets there, it's a beautiful woman who calls her kids, and the kids are the ones that wanted the pizza, so major mistake. He ends up running out of the house. So both of those houses would have been inside this gated community that we can't see today. But I'm pretty sure that the next place we will be able to see. I've been in that area before, I know that area well, so we will get to see that house. So let's head off to that next neighborhood over in Toluca Lake. Yeah, sorry we didn't get to see those two houses. I really thought we would, but my rule on gated communities is if the gate is open, we go in. If not, we don't. So the house that I'm going to show you next is actually Carrie Fisher in the movie. This is her house. Her character is Monica, and she is married to the weightlifter, the bodybuilder guy. So we see his delivery truck pull up right up front here. The first time that we see this house. The second time we see it is when Vic Tayback is driving the other guy, Robert Picardo, the other husband, here to investigate. So the first time we see this is Carrie Fisher's character, and her whole thing is that she shows him that she's a photographer. She photographs like parts of the body with eggs on it, like a round egg. And so she's explaining to Randy that her husband is a personal trainer and he's never home and never has any interest in her. And she starts saying like, I hide pork chops in the freezer and I love grease. We're so opposite. I love everything that he doesn't, everything his lifestyle's about, I'm against it. And Randy intuitively picks up a Polaroid camera that's sitting around and starts photographing her like it's almost like a fashion show session, and kind of gives her self-esteem again because she has just shown him that her husband's gift to her was a exercise bike. So actually in this movie, Carrie Fisher looks amazing. She actually looks a lot like her mother, Debbie Reynolds. She has blonde hair at this point and she's really charming. Now you see this again once some of the husbands are figuring out that their wives are involved with someone. So they come here thinking that their wives are sleeping with this bodybuilder guy. So Vic Tayback and Robert Picardo bust in through here and go up to the front door, and they're looking through that front door, and that's when they end up smashing in the window of the front door and the housekeeper brings out like a candelabra to give to them, thinking they're robbing the place. And we see the bodybuilder come walking through this gate. He says, well, my wife's leaving me and you guys are robbing me. What else can go wrong? And they start to figure out that he's not sleeping with the wives, and that they start to pull their resources and figure out through their credit card bills that they're being billed $200 a pizza by Senior Pizza, which is how they're charging the women. And the bodybuilder here says, Monica doesn't even like pizza. All right, my friends, we're gonna call it a day. I hope you all enjoyed this vlog. Thank you, Roger Hodgkinson, for becoming my newest Patreon. And even though, like I said, I think why I figured out why they don't have this streamable, at the end of the movie, his dad goes up to him and says, Randy, I know you're gay and I'm okay with it. He says, Dad, I'm not gay, this is my girlfriend. So, you know, it has a good message in the end, but I think just the way they presented the movie and everything, I just think it's very unpolitically correct, but it's still a funny movie. And I think, you know, the humor in it, you can still find the humor in it. So thank you all for watching. If you're in the mood, go watch Loverboy. We'll see you all next time. Have a great night and goodbye.